age.
Yeah, which is exposing them to cybersecurity attacks, fraud, and things like that. So are you saying there is more space to build solutions around that sector?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say yes. And then some people are also going into like the education sector in terms of like how to build solutions for people who don't necessarily have access to those resources. So like maybe thinking of making an application that doesn't require data to use.
Yeah.
So we have lots of areas that don't necessarily have internet connection. It's quite hard.
Yeah.
Or they don't even have like the best of smartphones, or don't have a laptop and have a phone.
Yeah.
But then they at least can learn on the phone, or like do practice questions on the phone. Yeah. So education is one of them. I think we definitely need solutions for transport. That would be like one of the biggest sectors, or not solution, but like how can technology make it better? And like what it currently is.
Yeah.
And then we also have like people who just build tech solutions for businesses, like Specno and Axo. They just build solutions for businesses. They have clients that come to them and ask, "Can you please build me a solution, tech solution that is a fully operational MVP?" Yeah, so we have companies like that a lot. And I've seen the rise of companies like that build tech solutions for business.
And most tech companies like AWS, are based in Cape Town or Joburg?
There is an office in Cape Town and office in Joburg, yeah.
Oh, they have both.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Because I have a friend that works at AWS, and there is an office in Cape Town, but he could also go to Joburg.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, but would you consider that Cape Town is more tech city than, Joburg?
Yeah. It's very hard to say because most of the companies most of the companies that I know also are in Joburg. It's just that Cape Town is like naturally slower. So we're not like, okay, I wake up very early, but most people wake up at 9.
It's towards the coast, so ideally it should be.
So Joburg, I would say Joburg is more like Nairobi in the sense that it's really busy, like constant busy. Joburg also is probably the city that's got most business in terms of like money, business deals going. Cape Town is more tourism. So there's not, I want to say maybe we're coming up in terms of like the tech world, in terms of doing business in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you say also tourism and hospitality is a big industry that tech could actually build solutions around?
Yes, yes, I definitely think so.
Maybe we should do, tech and tourism. Uganda actually is doing a tech and tourism hackathon this month.
Yeah.
So that could be also a good solution when we start doing the hackathon. And by the way, talking of that, I didn't want to jump the gun, but please tell us more about Africa's Talking community in Cape Town.
Okay, so I'm planning the activation of Africa's Talking.
Yeah.
So that's probably why the whole theme of cybersecurity came into my provision topic, which is like data privacy and data security.
Yeah.
So I was thinking from a cybersecurity perspective. Obviously, you have big hackers that hack everything else, but like small things like SMS, you get SMS from your bank.
Yeah.
How do you control cybersecurity there?
Yeah.
I mean, most people don't even like really check their bank statements. They just see the SMS and they just close the phone. And it's like, that's easily could be hackable as well. Your phone, most banks don't phone you, but I mean, email or SMS you get that's the communication banks use.
Yeah.
So any type of those communications are at risk of being hacked.
Yeah.
So I thought of that to like start off as like a nice meetup coming September. So I'm really excited to host that.
Yeah.
And then I would like to do like a hackathon centered around that theme or topic.
Okay.
Like how to protect SMS and how to protect email. Obviously there's like the not spam that you get, that you can take. But I feel like hackers have become so much smarter these days. So you can't really take the chance of, it's not going to, because maybe what if they can actually replicate a bank email officially and make it look like it really is that.
Yeah.
And then you fall for it, and then there's nothing you can do to like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's an ideal time to set up the community because, as you said, you're looking for 2G solutions, which is right, right at the
Yeah.
core of what Africa's Talking does.
Yeah. And I mean, even when you look at what Google is enforcing right now, among as many other companies, 2FA, two-factor authentication, it boils down to 2G because at the end of the day, if you have a phone, right, and everyone does, not all the time, even if you have a smartphone that you have internet, but just verifying it's you through 2FA, that makes a lot of sense. And then you can set the expiry of the code so that it doesn't really give room for hacking and many other solutions. And I think when developers come together, they'll be able to like figure out, okay, is this the best way? Because I also saw another solution. Can't remember the name, but this fella doesn't believe in passwords. So, and I also know there's a website where you just, once you register for something, you just add the link and you're able to log in without so much hassle. And they give you like a very well encrypted one password that can actually access most of these solutions. So if you have that, and I think data and protection is becoming a really big topic because of the obvious reason that there's right now, even the warfare, the world war will not be fought using nuclear warheads. It will be about data. It will be about privacy. It will be about cyber. So it's quite good and go for it. Also, there is something else that might be coming down there through in partnership with Anita Borg.
Yes, so we have a very exciting opportunity. It's still in planning phases.
Yeah.
But we would be really honored to host a meetup with Anita Borg as a partner.
Yeah.
So it's something we're really looking forward to making happen in Cape Town. Which I think is really nice because we do have the audience that's really interested in women and women in STEM and empowering women and being there for women. So I feel like it's the right space to have that encouragement. But I also feel like maybe we'll reach more people than what we normally reach, which is something that's really exciting.
Exactly.
Looking forward to that in partnership with Africa's Talking Women in Tech.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Please talk about Africa's Talking.
Glad I got
I
the
see they're
chance.
listening here. If please you can request to be speak and speak a bit about it also.
Yeah, if we have people in the community, we'd love to hear your take. But yes, at Africa's Talking, we do have a women in tech community, steadily growing. It's in its first year, but hey, people hit the ball is rolling, and we hit the ground running, in short. So here, we have it across several countries. Here in Kenya, I am the co-lead, and we have a booming community with hackathons every month, every last Wednesday of the month. So that's exciting. We'd love to see South Africa pick up as well and have the same momentum. Setting up in various countries such as Uganda, and we can't wait to see where this goes.
Please tell us why it's different from any other women in tech in the world.
This one is different because this one, first of all, we get hands-on from day one.
Yes.
Yes.
So don't come there to eat stories, for lack of better word, hit in quote. It's just about come with your laptop, see other ladies who are writing code, try to solve some of those problems using code.
Exactly.
And see how it goes.
Yeah, we're all determined to create scalable solutions. And like Jessica said, we have a lot of ladies in STEM. So if you want to get hands-on, see how you can apply your math, your engineering to programming and to tech, this is the place to be. We get hands-on and see how we can solve this really.
And another aspect that I need to mention about Africa's Talking Women in Tech is that we're trying to interweave all these women across Africa.
Exactly.
So it's just one community, but also operating locally. So you're connected continent-wise, but you're operating locally, and you can always reach out in case there's anything you need to check out. But back to Jessica. You're in Nairobi and you travel a lot, right? Give it to you. You told me once you leave Nairobi, you're planning to go to Ghana. You will come back to Nairobi again for several reasons. But please tell us about it.
Oh, sure. So I'm currently in Nairobi because I'm attending a telecommunications conference in partnership with ITU, which stands for International Telecommunications Union, and Afrauti. So we're basically learning how to become a key leader in spectrum management and why it's so important to have spectrum management. And it affects all forms of business, just how to get Wi-Fi and all the different generations like 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and we're going to 6G. So it's almost like we're just getting into all the nitty-gritty of that. And also like if you have a 6G phone and you're going to like a 2G zone, you can't use your phone. So it's almost like you have to upgrade all the areas as well as when phones upgrade. But also it's very expensive. So I think when we get the demand for that, obviously then that will happen. So it's like all those type of things that obviously challenge society. And also mobile operators also come hand in hand with that.
Yeah.
So we're discussing all the important details of spectrum management, which is really exciting because it's like a different section of tech that deals with policies of like Wi-Fi and all the things we do need as tech people. Like you can't live without Wi-Fi.
True.
It's like the first thing I always ask, what is the Wi-Fi password? Do you have Wi-Fi? So, I mean, that's really important. And I'm really enjoying the experience so far.
Yeah.
And then after this, after this trip, I go back home and then I'm going to Ghana for the deep learning in Durban. It's like a conference for AI and machine learning.
Yeah.
And I'm also like really looking forward to that. I know that there's going to be like lots of different companies there, like Google, Meta, Microsoft. And there's lots of different opportunities or activities within that. There was a dinner social. They also have hackathons that you could like join, which is really exciting. I wasn't quite sure about the hackathon yet, but I'll see if I can get a team together. But it was really nice to see like all the different activities that they have. And then there was also you can do like a block interview with Google Deep Learn. So you can see like where you are and where you would like to be in terms of your resume and your CV, which is kind of a nice experience, so hands-on experience. But most of all, I'm just like really excited to meet all the people coming from all over the world to Ghana to experience the deep learning in Durban.
Wow, that's amazing. I want to be you now. But definitely, I would like us to talk more about the, spectrum management, and this also will, I'll have to mention Starlink, which is exploiting some of the bandwidth that have not been used across the world and using satellite actually to send back some signal. And it has actually, I saw another Twitter space here by the telcos and, the internet ISPs discussing about it. Actually now Starlink is active in Kenya. And one of the fascinating things is that it's really, really fast and according to the usage that people are sharing across different channels, it's quite strong and impressive for that matter. So do you think some of these unutilized technologies, unutilized, things to do with basically tech itself, do you think we have a lot of space for people even to come up with new innovation? Because when anyone before, maybe 2-3 years ago, if someone thought about satellite internet, one of the things that came into their mind is it's super, super expensive. You could not even imagine accessing internet while traveling using flight or, through, ship. But right now it's possible thanks to Starlink. I know because of the adaptation, it's quite expensive, but it's not as expensive as it was previously. And that's going to break down so many barriers because if you boarded a flight, what was the last thing you said? Oh, I'm now, the flight is leaving and I'll land at this particular time. So expect some darkness in it. And people, face some accident between the journey and a lot of things happen in between the flights. But right now, it's possible even to keep in touch with your family back at home, to keep working, and so many other opportunities that I can see, which means, there are opportunities as well as, the other downside of it. But of course, it's something that can be exploited. What is your take on that?
Sure. So I definitely think that new ways or new innovations are important.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that there's a space for it. I feel like as new solutions are made or created, then new problems are also made and created.
Yeah, sure.
So I feel like satellite is actually quite interesting way of doing it. I think it will work, especially for planes, because I had a problem with me when I would fly. I just said, Mom, I can't. Like when I'm flying, you only hear from me on the other side, and you might not even hear from me on the other side because I still have to get a line, the Kenyan line, and then still have to access Wi-Fi somewhere or a strong connection before I can say, hi, I'm safe, I'm arrived. So I definitely think that would be a nice, because it's still starting, I think it would be nice if I could be at this point to invest in it really because I already see the usefulness of it. But I think even if we didn't just use it for flight, but just for like normal internet, that would be.
But even iPhone is actually starting to support satellite internet. Just directly from the iPhone. I think the next iPhone they're launching should be able to support that. I watch the same thing where you don't need a SIM card. Now there's eSIMs which actually supports that. As long as you can get the signal, why not? So I feel like in the next couple of years, if not months, you should be able to start seeing these actually take over. And it's really hard for you to go offline unless there's, I don't know, what could take down the satellites. Also, IoT, as and Africa's Talking used to provide IoT APIs. And one of the things that we made us pivot is because I think we were ahead of time, for lack of better, explanation. But ideally, most of the biggest challenging part of IoT is the internet. Because remember, LG, Samsung, they actually wanted to support all their appliances to support IoT so that you can actually automate some of the tasks like, how much temperature do you need in the house? Do you want your coffee warm before you wake up? Things, those miniature kind of task. But ideally, that requires reliable communication between devices, which now boils down to IoT. But when you look at it, same as Starlink, not Starlink, but Space, they're providing IoT, specifically small satellites that are really mobile, and they cover the whole world so that if any IoT device needs internet, it just gets that internet. And that's another, I would say, something that will unblock most of these, like opening your gate automatically because maybe the satellite sends you are several meters away. And so many other small things that actually would make even security better. If you think about it, it's mind-blowing. And I think this is not discussed more and more, but I feel like, mathematicians in the world, computer scientists in the world, there are people actually who think, how can we make life easy? But of course, there's the robotics and the AI conversation that people are like, people lose jobs. People might get killed by robots if they take their own autonomous ways. And it has been proven. It's not just mere talk. But of course, scientists and anyone else in the field like you and I and everyone else need to come out and try to evaluate some of these things to ensure that we mitigate them before, they get out of hand. Because you can imagine if a robot gets its own mind. And this is a robot, you can't kill it, you can't arrest it, you can't do anything actually. It can get really out of hand real fast. Look at ChatGPT. People are like, how did they get this code? How did they add this knowledge about these books? There are people who wrote these books that you are sharing all over, and maybe you're not even taking credits. And of course, it brought up plagiarism. The tool itself is plagiarizing people's work. And now there's a discussion like, can you even quantify that this work that you're quoting is coming from this person? This person actually can come and say, someone paid $20 per month. Am I getting there? Because at the end of the day, everyone should be able to reap from their work. So there are all those discussions, but I don't know, as a pure mathematician, there's a way you think about it. Let's solve it, and everything else will follow.
So it's so weird. So I think when I was thinking about it, or I was thinking about AI specifically, lots of things like came to mind, like how do we hold AI accountable for things?
Exactly.
How do we keep transparency? And I think as a mathematician, we are kind of very, we move very slow when it comes to technological development. Which kind of is good because we believe we must trust something before we just take it on. Which is nice in the sense, we're not quick to like just try this or try that. But I think for a mathematician, we are very critical minded, so we always evaluate. Okay, this is a great thing, but what is the catch?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how I can put it, because I was spoke to my professor about it. It's like, that's great, but like, what is the catch with this? It was so funny because my friend, he had an assignment at Ames for something, and everyone then wanted to obviously finish the assignment, but there was this one question was a proof in group theory that he asked them to do, and they asked ChatGPT like just how to do it, and ChatGPT gave him the most awfully wrong proof you ever seen in your life.
Oh wow!
And like some of my friends were like really strong mathematicians, just looked at us like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Like you can't use this. Like we can just see that immediately this is wrong. Which is kind of like, I feel like mathematicians always have to read between the lines of wrong math and good math, so we can see when, okay, this doesn't look right, or this implication doesn't follow from this argument. So I feel like from a mathematician's perspective, I feel like we take to AI very lightly. Like we don't really want to fully embrace it, because it's like, but do you really know the math well enough? Like you can do amazing things, but I mean, do you really know what you're speaking about? There might be a point in time where you don't know what you're speaking about, and you're giving it to someone. And that might be very not good in that aspect.